Alright, so we just got done with a very good episode of Dragon Ball Super tonight. Episode 122. A lot of Vegeta and Jiren, very well done animations and stuff. Now, I'm a couple episodes behind on my Dragon Ball Super reviews. I am actually going to catch up and do them all. There was like kind of a false Toei account that was running around giving people false copyright claims, which does appear to have been cleaned up now, so I could probably upload episode reviews without getting copyright claims anymore, which would be really cool. But anyway, let's talk about some spoilers that just dropped. Now, in particular, episode 122, I do want to talk a little bit about what looks like is going to follow from the aftermath of that episode before we dive into the spoilers themselves. Shout out to my boy PS3 360 HD2 here, who did tweet out this shot. This is from the next episode preview. This is from Dragon Ball Super episode 123 that we're looking at. And notice Vegeta looks a little different here. Now, in the narration of the next episode preview, Goku does state that Vegeta will be surpassing the power of Super Saiyan Blue. And if you look closely, you can kind of see that Vegeta's hair is shaded differently, and his eyes are a little bit different, and also the aura. His aura is a little bit different here. Now, if we go over here and look, my boy Zenrot actually tweeted this out right here. Go follow Zenrot PS3 and Herms, by the way. Make sure you follow all these cool cats. Now, this is actually the last shot of the newest ending that debuted tonight on Dragon Ball Super. And you can clearly see that is Ultra Instinct Goku right there. But you can also see Vegeta, definitely looks noticeably different. Look at his hair. That's definitely a different shade from the normal shading you usually see for Super Saiyan Blue. And his eyes. His eyes are also different. There is a black dot in the center. It is noticeably different. So something is going to happen to Vegeta in the next episode. He is going to unlock some sort of new power. Now, I'll say this. I do kind of like the idea of Vegeta maybe not getting Ultra Instinct and instead getting something different. That's cool. I do because Ultimate Gohan, Gohan said, oh, I'm not going to go down the Super Saiyan Blue route. I'm going to go down my own path of power. He is telling Goku that. And I really like that. Okay, rather than just everyone, okay, we're all going Super Saiyan 1. Now we're all going Super Saiyan 2. They're kind of going to branch out a little bit. And if Dragon Ball Super is going to keep going on for the foreseeable future, which it's making so much money, sales for toys, Dokkan, video games, everything is so off the charts right now that I do see it going on for the foreseeable future. Doing this, where they all kind of have different powers, I think is a good way to progress. So these are interesting, but I think needed and good developments right here. Rather than Goku and Vegeta just being the same thing again. Looks like they're going to branch out, which is going to be really cool. I'm definitely excited to see that. So let's hop into the actual spoilers themselves right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. All right, so this is episode 123. As you guys can see by the date over on my end, it is currently the 7th of January. 1 week in the future, we're going to be getting episode 123, which is Full Body, Spirit, and Power Unleashed, Goku and Vegeta. So Goku begins battling Jiren once again. Although Goku uses every trick up his sleeve, Jiren brushes it all aside. Goku fires Kienzan-like cluster bombs off in all directions, but this is also of little effect. So the Kienzan, in case you guys don't know, is actually Krillin's Destructo Disc. The Kienzan is the Japanese name for it. So the fact that Goku's going to kind of ape that technique a little bit, I think that'll be cool. It makes sense. Goku used the Solar Flare already in the tournament, as well as many people were thinking that Goku was also using Yamcha's Spirit Ball. By the way, he was kind of, flicking the wrist while fighting Khalifa and Kale. So for him to use another of the Z fighters or Earth's, the humans attacks, I don't think is really that much of a stretch here. So that doesn't work. But then Vegeta unleashes all his ki and starts glowing blue. So based upon, obviously the ending shot right there and also this image, this probably is towards the end of next week's episode. Looks like Goku is going to go Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and Vegeta is going to be, taking on whatever new form or new power he has to fight Jiren side by side is fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the idea of Goku and Vegeta versus Jiren a hell of a lot more, I think, than I do, like, either of them individually against Jiren. Like, that's not something that's happened a lot in Dragon Ball, as like a tag team, something like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Now, I do think probably eventually Vegeta's going to lose, and then it'll be Ultra Instinct Goku against Jiren. But if they take Jiren, like if Jiren stays stronger than both of them the whole tournament, and like Goku and Vegeta kind of are both able to take him out together, and then maybe like the tournament is decided more with like Frieza, Toppo, and Gohan, I think I would really like that. Like that would be very acceptable to me. So, we'll see what'll happen, but looks like there's good things on the horizon. Now we also have episode 124, which is going to take place on January 21st, and this is a stormy, fierce attack. Gohan fights with his back to the wall. So, real quick, this is the episode before. We have alternate, like an episode description here, so we know a lot about this episode. This is the episode where 17 grabs Toppo and tells Gohan to blow them both away, and Toppo will be, defeated at the cost of 17, but Gohan hesitates and it does not happen. I believe that wasn't episode 123. That was episode 124. We did see that description. I believe that was last week. So, this episode looks like it's going to focus more on the other two fights currently taking place, because, as you guys know, there are 3 fights right now. Goku and Vegeta are fighting Jiren, Gohan and Android 17 are fighting Toppo, and Frieza is fighting Dispo, which will lead us into this. While Goku and Vegeta battle Jiren, Frieza proposes something to his opponent Dispo. If Universe 11 wins, please use the Super Dragon Balls to resurrect me. Promise me that, and I'll have no problem cooperating with Universe 11. So, what we have here is a possible betrayal by Frieza. Now, we've seen a lot of this since Frieza has come back. Obviously, we all thought, like, fuck, that you can't trust Frieza. Frieza's gonna betray him. Like, Frieza's, he's not a fucking good guy. He's not out there giving his energy to Goku just for the hell of it. Like, he has a dirty grandmaster plan in his mind. Personally, I think the most interesting outcome for this tournament would involve Frieza getting what he desires. I know it might be a little played out. It's like, oh boy, Frieza is the fucking villain again. Resurrection F wasn't enough. Him coming back to fight Trunks wasn't enough. Him taking up the entire Namek Saga wasn't enough. Here we go, like, Emperor of the Universe Frieza or some bullshit. I don't know. Frieza being in the Tournament of Power, as disappointing as it was that Boo did not enter into the Tournament of Power, I think it's a lot better because of Frieza than it would have been with Boo. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there. So, Frieza and the checkered history of him defecting from Universe 7. If you guys remember, there were fake spoilers a while back now that said that Frieza was actually going to join Universe 4. That did turn out to be fake. It was Universe 4. And we did also have, in the episode itself, Frieza did kind of offer his services to Universe 9 as well to kind of get away from Universe 7 since he thought Goku was going to die at the hands of the Hakai energy, Sidra's Hakai energy. So, like, Frieza has kind of toyed around with this idea before. And then, of course, Frieza teaming up with Frost, although Frost basically got turned into a giant cuck, and Frieza tricked him and, wrung him out. I can actually see this right here, going more along the lines of what Frieza did with Frost, of Frieza kind of tricking him and then defeating Dispo rather than actually, like, teaming up with him. I don't think Frieza will betray Universe 7, at least not until the very end. I don't know. It's so hard to tell what's going to happen with Frieza, but this right here, I think, is a feint. I don't think Frieza is actually going to, like, be like, oh, Dispo, my buddy, old pal, we're going to do this shit, and then Frieza, will just go, fight Gohan or some shit, or knock out Android 17. Like, I think Frieza will use this as an opportunity to possibly defeat Dispo. So, moving on, we now have episode 125 right here, which this is one I'm really excited for. So this is going to be taking place on January 28th, which will be the 27th over, here in the West. So this episode is Advent of the God of Destruction, Topo. There is only overwhelming power. Now, here's the thing with this. This very well could be kind of I don't know if foreshadow is the right word, but this could be teasing Topo having some sort of transformation or new power or something along those lines. But this also just could be a Topo-centric episode. Like, it's saying Advent of the God of Destruction, Topo. Remember, in the manga and also the anime, there is talk of Topo replacing Vermoth as the Universe 11 God of Destruction. So just because it says, like, oh, Advent of the Destruction God, Topo, overwhelming power, like, it doesn't actually mean he's going to get a power-up in this episode. It might just be like, if Cell was to have just absolutely bodied someone in an episode and it would say like, oh, the perfect power of Cell explodes. Like, it's not talking about him actually gaining new power. It's just, kind of a strong description of him. That is what this could possibly be. Myself, I am hoping for some sort of like big thing with Topo. That would actually be cool. I mean, it would go against everything we've been told by all characters like in the manga. I don't think it would happen. But if there was like an 11th hour reveal that Topo is actually stronger than Jiren, that would be interesting. But certainly I do not think that's the case. No way. There's too much evidence in the manga and anime to kind of go against that. But I mean, we'll see. I'm definitely very excited for this episode because I do really like Topo. Based upon what happened in tonight's episode with Gohan and 17 versus Topo, looks like they definitely have their hands full with him as well. He is incredibly powerful. So now we'll go to the the second part of the new info we have, which is episode 126. Surpass even a god, Vegeta's life-risking blow. Now, I did actually see Ken Zyro talking about this on Twitter, where Vegeta's life-risking blow, it is basically just saying like a technique, the final explosion would be kind of, putting it all into a move to try and beat someone, or, Goku, when he was Super Saiyan Blue against Hit in that tournament, he was risking his life, putting it all into the Kaioken, because if it failed, it would wreck his body, something along those lines. So it doesn't mean Vegeta's going to blow himself up. It doesn't mean Vegeta's going to die. It doesn't mean he's going to lose. All we know is that Vegeta is going to be in peril. That's basically about the best we can get from this episode. Now, in terms of the date, Herms did mention that it looks as though there is a typo because it does say that it will be airing on February 7th, which, is a Wednesday. So unless they're just magically changing the date of Dragon Ball Super, which we have not heard of, it should actually be taking place on the 4th. I suppose it's also possible that it could be taking place on the 11th and maybe there's no episode on the 4th. No, because it would have said that. So, yeah, this should be on the 4th. Should be just a typo. But there y'all have it. A lot of interesting stuff going on. I didn't really expect Vegeta to kind of get like a different power than Ultra Instinct. It's cool, though. It's cool. I was actually excited for the possibility of Ultra Instinct Vegeta. But to go in an opposite direction... And it looks like, Vegeta is going to be around for a long time. Again, that's 4 episodes in the future right there. So, not only that, but we know that the Tournament of Power, like we had heard rumors that it was going until like March. And, I mean, it certainly does seem like it. Surpass even a god. I mean, there's exciting stuff going on. Dragon Ball Super is really fire. I would also like to point out one last thing before we close the video out, that all of this stuff, that's all taking place, like Topo, Vegeta's life-risking blow, like that's smack dab in the center of the Dokkan 3-year anniversary. So I would just like to point that out. I was saying before tonight's episode that I could see a triple Dokkan Fest being the 3-year anniversary in Dokkan, Ultra Instinct Goku, Jiren, and Ultra Instinct Vegeta. Now it's pretty clear that Vegeta's probably not going to get Ultra Instinct, but instead this brand new power-up that he has. So instead, it could be a triple Dokkan Fest with Ultra Instinct Goku, Jiren, and Vegeta's new kind of take on Super Saiyan Blue, new power-up, whatever it might be. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for fire from Dragon Ball Super. Things are really cool, very exciting. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch y'all later.